Welcome into the Backcountry Podcast, Episode 1, Tales of 2024. First episode of the Ridge Podcast, Tales of 2024. It's a Backcountry crew here. Myself, with Lucas Reiber and Levi Whipke. What's going on, guys?
How's it going?
What's up? What's up?
So, 2024 came and went real fast. We're now halfway through the January of 2025. Pretty crazy.
Yeah, it's pretty crazy stuff. I mean, that month, or not that month. I mean, this month so far is flying, but I mean, last year it just went by like none other. I mean, a lot of stuff got terrorized by us. A lot of stuff. I know
we got a lot of animals on the ground in 2024.
Yeah, a lot of stuff's hit the ground. I mean,
Some smaller stuff,
some small game, some big game. A lot of fish.
I know I got a 7-point and a doe.
Yeah, I mean, to start off the spring, I got a spring turkey. Our buddy Jake, I got him a spring turkey as well, and I mean, it was just real great.
Glad you took me out.
Hey, I offered. I think.
I don't remember that.
Well, anyway, I mean, just real great memories. I mean, always watching somebody younger kill their first is something's just a rewarding moment, regardless of how old you are or how experienced you are. I mean, it's just something you'll never forget, So
Right, and just to touch on that, guys, a little bit of a background for all of us. We are just high school buddies that enjoy hunting, enjoy the outdoors together, and we just figured we'd make a channel because
why not?
we figured we'd do it.
Something to do.
By far, we are not the best out there. I mean, by far, we know. I mean, in reality, we don't know a whole lot, but we're out there, doing what we can, and
I almost want this to come out as some younger kids figuring out the ways to hunt, and it going to younger kids to be like, okay, here's a perspective that no one's seen before, because there's a bunch of guys on the internet that have been doing it for 30 plus years, and been going all around the world. We have been hunting for 7 years? We're 18.
Since
about seven, give or take.
I mean,
but
I was.
We're not experts, but we're just out here giving our opinion and what we've seen so far in our career, our life.
I mean, just in reality, I mean, each one of us have one buck tag in our pocket every year.
Mm-hmm.
I mean,
So donate to our GoFundMe.
Yeah.
No, I'm just kidding. No, I'm
Be
just
nice
kidding.
to fund our habits.
Yeah, hopefully someday this pays for our expensive habits. But
Well, we'll see.
until then, I'll work my job. But
Local farm.
local farmer.
Well, do what you can.
Yeah, absolutely. But so Cooper, start us off about your 7-point and the rest of your year.
Yeah, well, this fall kind of started off pretty slow. I mean, I had one come in the first day, and whatever with that kind of crap that came and gone. Rut came. Levi, you got your buck. What, mid rut?
I think it was November 9th, so pretty well right around the peak.
Yeah.
So
And then about a week later, I was hung up on a ridge, shot at a pretty nice deer, got on camera, and he came about 10 yards through some brush, and we shot. We got down, tracked him. What did we track him, Levi? 6.5 miles.
every bit of 6 miles. Well, we did 4 the first night, and then that following morning we did
About 2.
2 or 3.
Yeah.
So
Well, I don't know about you guys, but the rut was pretty crazy this year. I mean, there was a lot going on.
yeah, I mean this fall is one that I'll never forget. I mean, I saw probably 30 bucks. I mean, not all of them were legal before I harvested mine, but I mean, deer were moving during the rut. I mean, I probably saw 25 of those 30.
A lot of 4-pointers.
A lot of 4.
Yeah, I seen
A lot of 4 and 6 points. I think I saw one little. It was either in 7 or 8. I mean, just little basket rack guys, but
Right, even seeing a buck, it's kind of a success that you feel. You're in the right spot where the bucks are at. Even if they're not the biggest, that they're there in that spot. And,
especially when they're nocturnal.
Right.
yeah, I mean, bucks and does are a little bit different. They got different bedding areas, different habits, and different places they want to be, different things they want to do, and I mean, finding does is one thing. If you find, the bucks of the group, I mean, you're definitely onto something there.
Definitely had some good ones on camera, but couldn't see them in person. But
So
Yeah.
what's everyone running for bows this year?
I'm running a Barracuda 33. I think it's set at 60, a little over 60 pounds. I mean, definitely a quick bow. It pushed a 2-inch Grim Reaper through that buck. So
got Old Faithful, the old solo cam, Hoyt, getting her done.
Yes, sir.
what you found that? That thing's an antique now, isn't it? Probably
Just-
classified as
Just
one.
about, but thing shoots. I tell you what,
Oh yeah,
70 pounds.
it's a killer.
I tell you what.
It's like shooting a slingshot. But
All right.
what are you
Mhm.
running, Cooper?
RX-7 Ultra. I just got it 2 years ago.
Yeah, 2 years ago. So
Thing's a beaut. I love it.
Mm-hmm.
Shoots
Yeah.
nice, shoots smooth.
Hey, well,
Straight.
give me a break. I'm just getting into archery, thanks to you, Webke.
You're welcome.
Yeah.
But yeah,
What are
so
we running for our setups, boys? We got some lock-ons. I run a saddle
yeah,
and some ladder stands, I guess.
We just
Yeah.
got some lock-ons out on the property.
yeah. So I
Other
mean,
than that,
pretty much for me, I mean, I run a couple different lock-on setups, just like presets. I have really seasoned sets, just to stay out of my main rut setups. So I'll hunt like this fall. I hunted at the beginning, just to not somewhere that I wanted to have high, or somewhere that was okay with high pressure, and just waited till I had an opportunity, that the rut kicked off, to try and find rut spots, high highway areas and doe bedding. But to stay mobile, I mean, right now I have a climber, and
I did hunt out of a ground blind this year, and it's one of them see-through ones, but I don't like it.
Listen, I will say the ground is one of the greatest techniques.
it all
One of the-
depends. It all depends. I mean, if you have a way to stay hidden, it's nice. But I mean, if you're just on the ground, I mean, it's kind of
If you play the wind right and you're on the ground, it's a great technique to kill a deer.
it's definitely tough if you can get away with it. That, and I mean, spot and stock. It's
Spawn stock's pretty hard.
Yeah.
it's pretty
That
tough.
I've had my fair share of hunts out of a ground blind, but I will say those see-through ones make a pretty big difference.
Did you get one? Do you have one of those?
Mhm, Yeah.
Tide Weir or whatever?
Mm,
No, not that.
no, I don't know what brand. I can't remember what brand this one is.
Probably a Tang Chai Wei from Chinese.
No, I got it at Walmart.
Did you?
Yeah, yeah.
Is that-
High
is that
quality.
expensive?
I think I
Probably
paid-
like a muddy or something.
I can't remember, but I think I paid like $100 for it.
Hmm.
So.
That'll be that.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
So like, are you gonna? It's like for both of you guys, are you gonna run with the same setup this fall?
Probably, I would like to get in the saddle game a little bit more. Get some lighter sticks. 'Cause I have those Hawk Heliums right now, and they're a little bit on the heavier side. But I got a saddle for Amazon, just a cheap little like $70 rig. But I'd like to get into that more. Get some
I would
cheaper-
love to get into saddle hunting.
Yeah. So like, for me this fall, I mean, I'm gonna try and get a hybrid setup. So it'd be a micro lock on, weighs like a little over 6 pounds, a little under 6 pounds. I can't remember the specs on it, but it's big enough that you can hunt as a lock on, and small enough you can use it as a saddle platform. So I mean, I'd like to get a saddle as well, and then just have for longer sits, just you can bounce back and forth between a lock on and saddles.
Right.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
Yeah. So for me, I kind of got into hunting saddles for my uncle. My uncle kind of he hunted out of saddles, and he kind of taught me about it. He kind of brought me into it and showed me the ropes.
Yeah.
But other than that, watching YouTube, Seek One, they go into cities and stuff, and they climb up trees. That's kind of where I saw it from, and I'm like, oh wait, this is pretty good technique here that they're using. But
Right.
just
I think,
seeing that around you and having the influence,
Yeah.
I
Yeah.
think plays a big part in stuff like this.
Yeah.
I think my dad and brother, I mean, they both pretty well got saddles. I don't know, whenever they hit it big. I mean, they've been around for a real long time, but I mean,
Right.
just
I think they kind of went away for a while.
I mean, there was guys that were using them back in the '90s. I believe, I could be wrong, but I'm pretty sure that there's guys that were using them back in the '90s, and they just weren't
Probably guys out there that went up with Lyman gear before.
yeah, Lyman gear,
Spikes.
and then they use Lyman belts like a normal Lyman would use in today, and just pretty well sat in a fabric seat.
Yeah, yeah. Well, I will say, my family wasn't really much into hunting. I will say, on my mom's side, my pap, he really got me into it more than anything because he was a big game guide in Alaska, and he did a lot of that kind of stuff. Old school. He's the type of guy to go out in a red flannel, get whatever he wants. But yeah, I'd say that's kind of.
Yeah, I think for me, my parents pretty much brought me into hunting. My dad always, the joy of waking up the first day of rifle season. We were never really big archery hunters up until probably like my freshman year, high school.
Probably whenever I told you it was better than rifle.
Yeah.
Probably that.
Yeah.
That
That's
was
about
like
how
middle
I'm
school,
getting
he told
into.
me.
Yeah.
He told me about middle school, and I got a bow.
I told him, I was like, archery hunting's the way to go.
Yeah, I found-
I like rifle hunting.
Yeah,
he
I was
says.
always a rifle guy. I mean, I never.
But I always remember all the techniques we used as a family. Like my uncle and everyone, we'd come out, we'd do deer drives through the woods, like little patches of woods in between ag fields or whatever. Me and Dad would sit all day long. The Dreadfuls sit.
Yeah, I mean,
But
Well, I did a lot of deer drives, but I will say I am slowly starting to get into the archery thing. And
yeah. I mean, ever since I was old enough to walk, I mean, I had a bow in my hands.
Right.
I mean, for like, I don't know, my first or second Christmas, my parents got me a little recurve, and I mean, I shot that until I was about 6. My dad got me a RTH package from Bear, and I mean, I shot that sucker until I was probably 15 or 16. And I mean, it killed a couple deer, but I mean, really, since I was 12, I mean, since I could sit on my own, I've been archery hunting, and it just. There was this buck. His name was Whitey.
Whitey.
If my dad's listening to this, he knows what I'm talking about. We watched this sucker all summer long. And the first sit of my archery hunting career, first sit ever, like on my own, this buck came out probably 12 yards, and I shot over his back. And ever since then, I mean, it's just.
How big was Whitey?
I mean, he was probably 22 to 24 inside width. I mean, he was every bit of 120 inches, maybe a little bit more. He might have made Pope and Young, but I mean, definitely watching my mistakes and learning from them is just something that drives me in archery. I mean, I've had instances where I'm on my phone and then something pops right out of the thicket I'm watching, and
right,
just you got no time to react, and it's just
this fall when I missed my deer, I know I came home. I could not sleep that night. I couldn't sleep for the love of me. But all I thought about all night long, all the next morning was that deer, that deer, that deer. And after we got done tracking that deer the next morning, I thought about what am I going to do to find him? And then when I do find him, where am I going to set up? How am I going to hunt him? How long am I going to hunt him?
right. I
That's
mean,
all you can think about.
just like the mistakes that I make drive me to want to go out there and sit. I mean, I'm not a big rifle hunter. I mean, I never really was, because I always liked archery hunting, just the way I was raised.
Mm-hmm.
I mean,
I'd say one of the reasons I was so big into rifle hunting is that's just what my family did.
right.
But-
Me too. That was all I knew was rifle. So
Yeah, I mean, that's just a little bit different for my side of it. I mean, my dad was in a stand from the first night to the last night, and I mean, he usually always became successful. Got something. But yeah,
Well, That's fair.
What's everyone doing different? We do anything different in 2025, or do anything different? Or
I mean, the only thing I really do different is try and get out there a little bit more, try and get a little more,
Yeah.
on the ground during the summer months, and try and find some sheds this spring. I mean, I slacked a little bit this past summer. I was just real busy, but I mean, I'd like to get some more cameras out, run some cameras, and I mean, what about you guys?
Well, I think one of the biggest things is, are we planning on going to other states here?
Yeah, we'd like to, because I mean, right now we only have one buck tag in our pocket, and I mean, it's
We'd
just
like to get to at least Maryland at the very least, and then
yeah,
hopefully like West Virginia, maybe some
Just to-
Ohio.
just to get out there,
'Cause I
learn
know
as much as we can while we can.
Maryland, I think they start like September 8th with their archery season.
Yeah, I'm
So
not
it's
sure.
pretty
We'll have to
early.
look into that
Yeah.
a little bit more.
We
And you learn a lot too from, traveling and
Mhm.
hunting in different areas. They're all different.
Yeah, absolutely. I mean, just the way it is. Different. I mean, pretty close, the same terrain, but just different environments down there. Different animals, different.
Different people, build up.
Yeah, I mean they don't have an
cities and
antler.
stuff.
They don't have an antler regulation, so I mean their deer usually don't live as old, but
You can shoot whatever you want.
Yeah, but
Yeah.
there's also not as many hunters.
that's true.
Anyway, I think that's a good stopping point for this episode. And go ahead and tune in to the next one, guys. You can follow us on Instagram, Facebook,
Whatever you would like.
Yeah, bear with us.
and stay
If
tuned.
if TikTok doesn't get banned within the next week, we'll make one of those too.
Yep.
We'll start a TikTok.
Right now, we're in the phase of TikTok wanting to get banned, but
Instagram Reels.
That's what we're gonna turn to. Instagram Reels. You guys watch.
Mhm.
all right, guys, go ahead and follow us on all those social media platforms and give us a follow on the podcast and keep up. Wait for the next episode. We'll see you guys later.
We'll see you guys.